Now, you mentioned you lived in a tight-knit community full of blacks and Hispanics. Doris, your black neighbor, was best friends with your mom, a Hispanic. Dino, a black guy, was your best friend. You hung out with Dino all the time. One main thing I hear in my comments all the time is people say that back in the 70s, blacks and Latinos didn't even get along with each other, let alone listen to hip hop together. What do you say about that?
All I can say is that was not my experience, right? So again, I was living in the South Bronx. Now, the area where I lived, and then you would go down further, down into the 140s, where you would find a lot of the burnt down tenements and the burnt down buildings, and there were burnt down areas around my way too. But what we saw was blacks and Latinos together. I don't know what people are talking about. Again, my experience has been that we were always together. And, did we fight? Yes, we did. I fought with my best friend Dino all the time. And I'm talking about fist fights. And we get it off, and then we make up, and then I'd be in his house eating dinner, and he'd be in my house. So it was like this. If he came to my house, we were like, we were comic book collectors and we were baseball card collectors. And so he would come to my house and he'd be there for a long time. And my mother would never say to him, Bino, we're going to get ready to have dinner. So, I'm going to have to ask you to go home. She would never say that to him. She would tell Bino, go wash your hands. We're getting ready to have dinner. And the same thing happened in Bino's house. It was never go home. It was, we're in each other's cribs. We're borrowing, we ran out of sugar. We're borrowing sugar from each other. We're borrowing milk from each other. So this whole idea of this separation, I don't know where they get the idea from, obviously, because we're human beings. There is always this, there's always going to be people of every race that has a problem with somebody of another race. So were there Puerto Ricans who didn't like black people? I'm sure there were, and there probably were. Were there black people who didn't like Puerto Ricans? I'm sure there were. But the majority, we're talking about the majority of us rock together